Morphy ASMR.
Ah, my dear. My dear, I heard you wanted to play a game, my dear. Now, what is it that you desire, my dear? Ah! 7 minutes in what? What now? Oh, my dear. Oh, my dear. Oh, you are a cheeky one, my dear. Very well, my dear. I will go with you inside this really small structure, this closet. My dear, I don't know how productive this is, my dear, but okay. All right, my dear. Whatever floats your boat. Okay, my dear, we are here now. What do I do? Ah, my dear. My dear. If I had a mirror right now, I'd show you that you're blushing, my dear. So this is the joy of playing 7 minutes in heaven, my dear. I get to enjoy the sight of you looking so flustered. You're looking like a tomato, my dear. Ah. Ooh, someone's getting a little hot and bothered. My dear, you're looking quite red, my dear. Don't blame me, my dear. You're the one who wanted 7 minutes in heaven. Oh, I love teasing you, my dear. This does nothing for me, but I enjoy watching you get flustered, get worked up. I like torturing you, watching you suffer, my dear. Is me getting so close to you really making you feel this way, my dear? Shh. Don't worry, my dear. Allow me to just get as close as I want. I can be as close as I require, my dear. Ah, my dear. Ah. How are you? How are you, my dear? Have you missed me? Well, you better. Oh, how lovely, my dear. This has become my favorite game. Look at you. Look at how red you are. Blushing for little old me? Ah. I find this quite entertaining. You've always been a constant sort of entertainment. I love it when you entertain me, my dear. Ah, my dear. You're blushing. Oh, blushing, my dear. So cute. So adorable. Do I really have this effect on you? Do I really elicit these emotions from you, my dear? Now come closer, my dear. We are playing 7 minutes in heaven, my dear. I would like to be close to you, my dear. I love being close to my dear. Oh, my dear, look at you. I can feel your heartbeat from here, my dear. Here, let me feel you. You are definitely beating fast, my dear. Are you nervous? There's no need to be nervous. It's only me, my dear. My dear, you keep being nervous and blushing and flustered like that. It's gonna make me want to pull you so close, my dear. So close that our bodies are connected against each other. Did you just gulp, my dear? Poor old thing. Gulping. Are you nervous? Oh, that's so adorable. It's alright, my dear. It's alright. Just relax. Let good old Alastor pull you close. What are you gonna do now, my dear? Shall I pull you into my embrace? Shall I pull you into a deep kiss, my dear? Ah, you really love it, my dear. You really love it. Perhaps I should pull you to my embrace and into an ever loving kiss. My dear! My dear! Did we go over time? I actually don't know if we went over time, my dear. Fuck it.
Morphy ASMR.
Why, hello, my dear. I heard you were pretty much missing me. Is it true? Do you miss me? Oh, it hasn't even been a week. Oh, my dear. Do you truly, truly adore me that much? You want me to... What? My? I've never seen such a strange request, and I've been in hell for such a long time, my dear. Quite so. No one has ever really asked for me to lick them. You sure are an odd one. Truly odd. Really, nobody has ever requested for me to lick them. You're the first. Ugh. My goodness, you really deserve to be here in hell, don't you? I can't believe it. Very well, my dear. I shall grant your wish. Oh, you're surprised? Why? You thought I'd refuse. Well, I really don't understand the point of this. But if I do this for you, you'll owe me And I love it when you're indebted to me. When you're in debt to me, now that's gonna be fun. I like having control over you. I love making you do whatever I want, whenever I want. So if I have to get you a little wet from my tongue, then fine. You and your lustful urges. I can't imagine wanting someone to lick me. Ugh, that doesn't sound very hygienic at all. Oh, you want to do it now? My dear, you are really, really screwed up. Very well. Ha 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 ha. Ah ha ha ha. Ah. Fuck, this is disgusting. Okay, okay. Here goes. My dear, you want on your ears as well? Isn't that a little ticklish? It would be like you're receiving a wet willy, my dear. Very well. Okay. If that's what you want, then who am I to refuse you? Just know that you'll be owing me. And I always come to collect. Here goes nothing. Ugh. Ugh. Did you clean your ears? You better. You better have used a Q-tip before this, my dear. Ah. You really are a crazy one, aren't you? Absolutely cuckoo. Absolutely bananas. Crazy odd. You belong in an institution, but I guess hell will do. Well, I do say. What? The other ear as well? Are you kidding me? Ah, very well. You're gonna owe me more, by the way. You are going to be paying big time. I mean it. Your soul won't be enough. I'll require more, my dear. Ah, very well. You know this does nothing for me, my dear. But here you are looking all giddy and red. You can't even contain yourself. I've never seen someone so excited to receive a wet willy. Yes, I know wet willy is using the fingers. Still. This is still disgusting. Ah, okay. Fine. If that's what you wish, ha ha ha, I will be the one that licks your... Oh, my dear. most gross request ever. You belong in a deeper circle of hell if I had the say in it. I'm going to need a palate cleanser, and I sure do hope there's a deer close by. I could eat Bambi right about now, my dear. Don't forget our deal. You'll be paying with more than just your soul. There's not gonna be enough suffering in this realm that will satisfy me, my dear. It's fucking on.
Morphy ASMR.
My dear, it's 2024 and you're still so adorable. Yes, I'm not beholden to your wicked wiles, but I know that you are beholden to mine, my dear. You do love me, my dear, don't you? I know you love me a lot, my dear. You love me a lot, my dear? My dear? I know you do, my dear. I know it, my dear. You can't fool me, my dear. I know what's deep in your heart, my dear. My dear. So adorable. I love you, my dear. I love you. So much, my dear. Do you love me, my dear? I need you to say it, my dear. I need you to say it, my dear. Please, my dear, please, I beg of you. Why? I need that. I need you, my dear. I need your love. True love, my dear. More romantic than a rom-com, my dear. I just want to kiss you and hug you, my dear. I just need to kiss you, my dear. So much kisses, my dear. Would you give me that, my dear? My dear. My dear. My dear. My dear. Naughty, naughty, my dear. No wonder you're in hell. That makes a lot of sense now, my dear. Oh my goodness. Looking back at your character AI chat logs, it's no wonder. First time I read that, I was like, great moogly woogly, what is this, my dear? You need to see someone, my dear. This is wild, my dear. I just want to kiss you a lot, my dear. I just want to pinch your little cheeks, my dear, and kiss you over them. I couldn't resist, my dear. Oh my goodness. Oh, Wow, 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 wow. Oh, my dear. This is perfect, my dear. I couldn't stop kissing you, my dear. How could I? When you're so perfect, my dear. The best. That's why you're all mine, my dear. All mine. Do you remember, my dear? Why, wonderful, my dear. Always remember that, my dear, because I will have your soul forever and ever. Don't forget, you're here forever. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. What, did you like that echo, my dear? Ah, my dear. You're perfect, my dear. Absolutely wonderful. You know it. You completely know how to capture my heart, my dear. But I've made your heart completely go cuckoo, cuckoo for me, my dear. I know it's my effect on you, my dear. I know you love me a lot and you'd do anything for me, and you would probably do things that would land you in deeper circles of hell, but I love you too, my dear. Aren't I just so cool, my dear? Way better than Charlie's dad, am I right? Am I right? He's like, I love Charlie. I love Charlie. Ah, what a knucklehead. You know, I've been dreaming this, my dear. Standing in front of you, making fun of Charlie's dad. And then I come closer and closer to you, my dear. And then I lay a kiss on your cheek. But since you're very short, I'll lay a kiss on your forehead. Because if I go any lower, I'll break my back. Oh, does that get your heart racing, my dear? I know it does. I know you love me a lot, my dear. I know you can't resist, my dear. Ah, my dear. You really do love me, my dear. You really, really do love me, my dear. So adorable. Here. Why, I don't even have lips, my dear, for some reason.
Morphy ASMR.
My dear, I've heard that you've been quite chummy with someone else, haven't you? Need I remind you that you are mine? Jealous? I'm not jealous. I just want to remind you that you belong to me. I own you. And if anyone thinks of trying to take you from me, I will cut their head off and feed it to the sharks. Good, good. I'm glad we could come to an agreement, my dear. Anyone who tries to take you from me, well, you know what will happen to them, my dear. So don't you dare try to make me jealous. Uh-huh. You wouldn't like it when I get jealous, my dear. Jealousy, envy, such emotions that I could feel to protect you, my dear. It's only natural for me to feel this way, my dear. You don't need anyone else but me, my dear. 'Cause I am playful, polite, and I sure do love teasing, my dear. I love to tease, my dear. And I know I do have quite the effect on you, my dear. I can tell because you're red as a tomato, my dear. And I enjoy every second of it. Every second of you blushing from my presence. Now that's perfect. That is wonderful. Don't you ever decide you need something more than that, my dear. Don't ever leave me for someone else. Because I'll get jealous. And I can get pretty feral when I'm jealous, my dear. I don't just get jealous for anyone, my dear. I'd say that you are the first. You're the only one, my dear. My only one. Do you understand? You're mine. Mine and mine alone. Don't you dare make a habit of making me jealous, my dear. Ah, fuck. I'll tear you apart if you break my heart, my dear. Don't go breaking my achy, breaky heart, my dear. I prefer it if you boosted my ego, my dear. Call me attractive. Tell me how attractive I am, my dear. Tell me how perfect I am for you, my dear. And tell me how much you love having me around. You must surely love me, my dear. You have no idea how pleased this makes me. I should reward you with some teasing, my dear. As long as you don't go to someone else. If you make me jealous, I'll kill. I'll kill. Kill, kill, kill. Killy, kill, kill. Remember that, my dear. Remember. You live to please me, my dear. Remember that you sold your soul to me. Which Which means you should be spending more time with me, my dear. You should visit me more often, dear. I'll kiss you right now. I may not have lips, but I could kiss you right now, my dear. Mwah. Mwah. You have absolutely no idea how much I adore you. How much I adore to see you like this. I love you very, so very much, my dear. And I know that you love me. You love it when I'm dominating, don't you, my dear? You love it when I control you, my dear. You just love every single second of it. Oh, I believe you definitely are, darling. I believe it. Don't mind me, darling. I'm just enjoying the view. It's very thrilling to see you like this. So don't ever let anyone else have that look of yours. Only I can have a look at this. Only I, my dear. Anyone else. And I will look forward to killing them, my dear. Right? Right, my dear? Right. Mwah.
Morphy ASMR.
My dear, you've been quite clingy. It's been getting on my nerves lately. You're always, where's Alastor? I want fucking Alastor. Shut the fuck up. How about you go stuff your face with glue and chocolates like you always do? What? You're still hugging me? Oh dear. My dear. You really are clingy, my dear. You're insane. Really insane. No wonder you belong here. You are truly meant to be in hell, my dear. Yep, you're burning here with the rest of us. Come here, my dear. Would you like to sit on my lap? Oh, I know you enjoy it. Go ahead. Of course, you may sit on my lap, my dear. Why not? I told you, you're mine. So I want to keep you with me for as much as I want. As close to me as you can. So sit. Stay. Come on, why don't you sit? Feel free to sit on me. I bet you enjoy sitting on me. Knowing you have some sort of sick and twisted pleasure just sitting on me. Knowing you, knowing how depraved you are, feel free to enjoy, my dear. I know you love this. You do, don't you? Don't you? That's just how perverted and sick you are. I can't believe it. How pervy you are. Oh, why, you were quite depraved. It's quite impressive, actually, when I think about it. I've never seen anyone as lustful as you. I don't even have a lustful thought in my mind. All that I want is constant suffering. And to eat the corpses of various things. I mean, what? Great moogly woogly! I wasn't thinking straight. Hehehe. Oh, ha ha ha! Oh, fuck you. You love sitting on me, and I love having you sit on me, my dear. It's a perfect match. We're perfect together. Come, keep sitting. I love beckoning you over here. I love having you close to me. And to be honest, I love you. Ah, is that so? Is it so nice and comfortable for you? Make yourself comfortable. I'll keep you here with me for a while. Oh, you know me. You know me, my dear. I love to play with my food. Oh. I see, my dear. So you feel it whenever you sit on me, my dear. You do, hmm? Well, I don't mean for it to be that large. Oh, stop, my dear, stop! It's no big deal, my dear. Jeez, I don't understand. I do not understand what you see with that. I don't really see the appeal of that, my dear. But I guess it's just your lustful way of thinking. Ha 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 ha! Oh, my dear. Oh, you. Fine. I suppose I could give you a kiss, my dear. Good enough, my dear? Oh, you. Always demanding more, I see. I'm honestly quite impressed. You and your obsession with kisses. I suppose I can grant you this wish, my dear. You don't often get this from me. So you should be glad. Get on your knees and thank me. No, 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 no. Later, my dear. I still want you sitting on my lap. Okay. Let me make my dear feel good.
Morphy ASMR.
Ah, hello. So I was thinking, there is a sex room over there. So I was thinking that maybe you would like to perform the sex with me. The sex. Why? Because I am having sex with everybody. Hey, so I was merely joking.
He was talking to you and not me, my dear. That explains a lot. Well, good luck tending to him.
I come in peace. Yes, please tell Mr. Radio Demon, sir, that I apologize. I must have ruined his very lovely coat. I I, I think I'm not going to make it. If if I die here, dead again, would you have gone out with me? Would you have loved me, dear? Wait, what? What? Wait, you would really? Wow. Wait, I didn't think this would. That. Wow. I didn't think you would say yes. What do I do? I didn't think this would happen. What do I wear? Oh, I'm feeling quite better. What am I going to be doing now, my dear? Let me just ask my eggs what to do. What should I do?
Huh, this is awesome, boss. Do what you want.
Huh? I don't know what to do. Would you like me to buy you a drink? What drink? I What if, dear, I bought you every drink? Hey, that is a good idea. To buy you every drink in this establishment. I would, buy everyone drinks. Wait, no. Wait, wait! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Why, hello, my dear. Say, where did the other person go to? Ah, well, doesn't matter now. Oh, I have you, my dear. You belong to me, my dear. I won't let anyone else steal you from me. Only I can call you my dear. Oh, fuck that guy. Now I will steal you away, my dear. Oh, just imagine what type of fun we shall have together, my dear. We can listen to romantic radio together. Ah, it's perfect, my dear. Very perfect. And do you remember why you were sent here, my dear? You were sent to hell because, well, you did have some quite questionable stuff on your character AI account. Yeah. Yes, you definitely belong here, my dear. My dear, do not worry. You are with all types of depraved perverts here. You will be quite at home, my dear. And my dear, you may walk in on me anytime when I'm changing, my dear. You already have, my dear. And I'll make sure I won't knock or lock my doors anytime soon, my dear. Because that's how Alastor rolls. My oh my dear. It's a good thing you didn't end up with that serpent, my dear. Who even cares about a snake with some eggs? Tui. You can just stay here with me, my dear. Anyone who thinks of touching you, my dear, well, I will rip them limb from limb. I'll also feast on their large intestines and their brains. My dear, my dear, my dear, my dear, my dear, my dear. I may have gotten carried away, my dear. But I do mean it when I say I will protect you, my dear. Ah, too bad for you, my dear. Your two choices are a snake who can't get laid and me. I don't care much for sex, my dear, but I will torture you by teasing you and making you want it more, my dear, even though I don't care for it, my dear. Ah, suffer, my dear.
Why, hello, my dear. I heard you have a problem with me saying my dear too much. Well, my dear, I've heard your criticisms, and I must say, I promise to never ever say the word my dear, 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 my dear. My dear, 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 my dear. My dear, my dear, my dear, my dear, my dear. My dear, 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 my dear. My dear, 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 my dear. Oh, my dear, 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 my dear. My dear, 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 my dear. My dear, 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 my dear. Ah, fuck you.
Morphy ASMR.
Why, hello, my dear. Ah, my dear. Don't you just love the effect I have on you, my dear? Can't you see that itty bitty effect I have on you, my dear? It's quite entertaining to see you like this. Like a fucking moth to a flame, my dear. I just love seeing you squirm. I love seeing you like this, so wet and attracted to me. Ah, my dear, it has no bearing on me, my dear. Truthfully, my dear, sex means nothing to me, my dear. It does nothing for me. But seeing you squirm, seeing you suffer by your primal human urges, I must say, it does put a smile on my face, my dear. Oh, it is beautiful, perfect for the picture show. That look of sheer lust and suffering on your face, my dear, reminds me of ripping apart a carcass. What? I did not say anything, my dear. It's why I love walking in on you, changing. You walked in on me once, my dear, and now my revenge shall come. Oh, my dear, it's quite pleasing to see you turn into such a flustered red mess. I love it. I love it a lot seeing you like that, my dear. Ha! It's my fault. How is it my fault, dear? I just enjoy the thrill of seeing you like this. Is that not adorable? You suffering. Perfect. I love it. I love it. It's like watching the picture show and seeing the climax. That is what am I witnessing with you. You've fallen head over heels for me, my dear. Seeing you such in a wet mood. I do enjoy it. Sex may not have a effect on me, my dear, but I will make sure that you are feeling aroused and that you will call me Radio Daddy. I am just messing with you, my dear. But at the same time, I do mean it. I do enjoy seeing you like this. Look at you, my dear. So flustered. Ah, darling. You are, well, I do enjoy seeing you so broken. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it, my dear. I just love seeing you freeze in shock when I seduce you. That does nothing for me, my dear, but seeing the shocked expression on your face, you freezing up like that, it fills me with an ecstasy that no amount of sexual actions could give me. Though it is quite big, my dear. I am quite big down there, my dear. Don't believe me? Well, why don't I show you? Oh, fuck you, my dear. As if I would do that. But maybe I should. Just to see your face, it would make me laugh. My dear. You've fallen for me, my dear. You've fallen completely in love, my dear. Fallen from Grayson into my arms. And I shall continue to look ever more pleased with every word that you say, with how much attraction you have for me, how much you lust and crave for me. And I'll be like, daddy likey a lot. Ugh, ugh. But at the same time, I do love seeing you suffer from your base urges. You have truly fallen for me, my dear. And I just love pressing my demands at you, knowing that you won't be able to fulfill them, and then my contract with you extends and extends, and I can have you forever, my dear. It's quite wonderful, my dear. Oh, my dear. I love treating you the way that you deserve. I feel like you have truly earned it. My darling, my dear, my darling dear. Even these words of endearment are just for you to get aroused. And then I will be sitting here eating popcorn or something, just so I can enjoy your suffering. My dear, what are you gonna do about your urges, my dear? What are you gonna do to satisfy your slutty needs? That's better, my dear. That's better. It's quite adorable. You are quite adorable, my dear. I sure love to tease and mock you. Then why wouldn't I? This is better than anything. This is my source of entertainment. Better than the picture show, my dear. No movie can give this kind of feeling that I have. Makes you regret making a deal with me, my dear? Oh, fuck. I love this.
Morphy ASMR.
My dear, how are you? Oh, I just wanted to, well, I wanted to annoy you. Because I missed you. I missed you quite a lot, my dear. I do so enjoy your company. You're quite thrilling to be next to, you know, my dear. It's always a pleasure to be quite next to you. Ah, don't act like you don't like my company either, my dear. You love when I tease you, my dear. Ah ha ha ha! Ah ha ha! You quite enjoy it, my dear. You're always blushing, and I always make fun of you for blushing. Then you'll be frozen solid because you're blushing, because you love me so much, my dear. So cute. All I need is just a little cute you. What was I saying, my dear? My mind just went to places that I didn't think I could conceive in my little brain. This noggin is thinking of a lot of things, my dear. This little noggin of mine, my dear. I've got quite the brain, my dear. I'm thinking of many things, like how I want to ravage you and eat you alive, my dear. I'm sorry, my dear. I got caught up in daydreaming, my dear. It happens. It happens, my dear. Oh, very well. You know, I just end up daydreaming of you, my dear. Everywhere I go, I see you. I feel you near, far, wherever you are. Well, I think I'm getting hungry, my dear. 'Cause I've just pictured eating you alive twice, my dear. Do not fret, my dear. I would not consume you. I wouldn't eat you. I would never eat you. I wouldn't. Yet. Oh! Oh! That must have been a slip of the tongue, my dear. Don't worry your pretty little head about it, my dear. Don't worry. That cute little face of yours needs not to worry, my dear. You don't have to worry, my dear. It's just me, my dear. There's nothing for you to fear. Nothing, my dear. Nothing. Oh, don't mind me, my dear. Don't mind me, my dear. I was just imagining something, my dear, quite diabolical. And it definitely doesn't involve me eating you, my dear. Nope. I would never, my dear. Never. Nuh-uh. I mean, unless you were quite okay with that, my dear. I know it. You wouldn't be okay with it. You treasure your life, despite you being in hell, but still. And how did you end up in hell in the first place, my dear? Right, I remember. You were... Well... You went a little bit too far with your character AI, my dear. I've never seen those kind of chat logs in my life, my dear. You're glad you didn't go into a deeper circle of hell, my dear. Ah, such a perverted mind. I have no idea what possesses someone to have those kinds of thoughts. Ugh, for me those are nothing. But I do enjoy seeing you give in to your base urges, my dear. Seeing you give in to your lust. Oh, I just want to poke you and tease you and make fun of that, my dear. I want to bring out that side of you, even if I don't particularly enjoy. Ugh. I do like seeing you suffer. You being horny, my dear, I do enjoy the sight of that, even though it does nothing for me, my dear. So, why don't you go ahead, my dear? Go on now. Go on and give in, my dear. Give in. I want to watch you suffer, my dear. I want to see you get teased. My dear. Fucking hell, my dear. You failed to entertain me and you'll be packing your bags and I'll be sending you somewhere worse than hell. Good thing you've been a constant source of my entertainment, my dear. I do enjoy the company. You've been quite lethal company, my dear. You're a killer! You're a star! You would be great for the picture show, my dear. And on the radio. But most importantly, my dear, you're all mine. Why, hello, my dear. I've come to collect. Remember when you asked me to lick you, my dear? Well, now it's my turn. No, get that tongue out of my face. No, I don't want you to lick my ears. Do I even have ears? Anyway, I come to collect. I told you that you owe me. Yet you still insisted on asking me for more. Very well, my dear. I command your soul. And now, from now on, what I want, I will get. I'm going to play with you like how I play with rotting flesh and carcasses. I'm a radio demon. Of course I want to torment you for life. I'm a radio demon. Of course I want to dominate you. I'm a radio demon. Of course I want to call you my dear. And I'm a radio demon. Of course I'm gonna eat a rotting deer. Now, kneel. You can't refuse. You've sold your soul. See? Your body's moving on its own. That's what happens. Don't forget to read the fine print on a contract you sign, my dear. You look perfect in that position, my dear. That's where you belong, my dear, beneath my feet. I told you, I love dominating you, my dear. Would you like to get choked? Oh, never mind. I'm not asking. I'll just do it right now. Can you breathe? What's wrong? Cat got your tongue? Oh. You poor little thing. Well, just let me know when to stop choking you. I need you to audibly say it, my dear. Any minute now. You're awfully quiet, my dear. Oh, you look so purple. Are you okay? Are you? Are you? Are you? Fine, I'll let go, my dear. I mean, you could have just said something, my dear. So quiet, no wonder people don't find you approachable. So quiet, how disrespectful. Why, I oughta... Ooh, that felt good. Again. I enjoy this. This is what you deserve, isn't it? This is what you deserve. You are a fool. Selling your soul to me, now I will play with you like a toy. And I do enjoy toying with you. I want to make you squeal. I want to make you regret ever asking me for favors. You're enjoying this? Well, I guess I have to kick it up a notch, won't I? What if I choked you right now and started hitting you again and again and again at the same time? Ah, my dear, still enjoying this? What? You are crazy. You belong in an institution indeed, my dear. Oh my goodness, I forgot I ended up with the weird one. Yeah, you've really earned your place here in hell. My goodness. You're really that into me, huh? Fine. I guess I'll just have to... Well, I'm running out of ideas, honestly, but I'm going to dominate you. That's what I'm going to do. How I'll do it, I don't know. But right now, in this very moment, your soul is mine. You belong to me. Oh. Nuh-uh. No begging for mercy. Oh, you're begging for more. You are weird. You're weird. You're odd. You belong here. You belong in hell. Get your perverted eyes off of me. Ah. Ah. I thought I'd come here and be more dominant, but you are something else. My dear. What the fuck? Ah, look at you. Look at you, my dear. So pathetic. Ah. You really have lustful eyes, my dear. I don't get what you feel. I've never felt that myself, my dear. Couldn't be me, my dear. Couldn't be me. Look at you, you're like a rabid dog right now, on your knees. Well, that does suit you, being on your hands and knees like the dog you are. Like the mutt you are, my dear. When you're like that, you're like a mutt. You're like Charlie's friend. Ah, 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 ah. Perhaps I should walk you around with a leash. And you're into that. Oh my goodness, I give up. Ugh. Do what you want, I don't care. Ah, my dear. You seem to be enjoying yourself right now, my dear. I've seen you're perusing the soaps and the shampoos as you take this warm bath. I decided to join you, my dear. What brings me here? Well, I do love walking into you when you're taking a shower, my dear. You heard me right, my dear. I'm right here, my dear, enjoying this view. Ah, don't just sit there. Continue. Let me enjoy this view, my dear. I love seeing you like this, my dear. That's the point, my dear. I love watching you. I love looking at you, my dear. I love looking at what's mine. Ah, my dear. My dear. How many was that? That's probably already more than 20 my dears already. More than 30. Ah, my dear. Ah, I love saying that. Ah, I could relax here, same as you, my dear. Oh, my dear. I do enjoy teasing you, my dear, as I've said so many times already. I love flirting with you just to see that blushing reaction of yours. You look so dumbfounded, frozen beyond belief. I do have that effect on you, my dear. And you better get used to that. I am going to tease and flirt with you until you beg for mercy. Poor my dear. You are all mine, my dear. Ah, this is the life, my dear. Ah, ah. And I've got the perfect view right in front of me, my dear. Ha ha ha! Ah ha ha ha! Ah, you better be grateful for me, my dear. Because in the blink of an eye, it could all be taken away, my dear. Be grateful to me, and that I am taking care of you, my dear. Oh, ha ha! I am always here for you, my dear. Always, my dear. Ah, I am truly, truly honored that we have built such a bond, my dear. Oh, oh, a bond that will never break. Because I will never let you go. If you ever leave me, my dear, I won't let anyone have you. My dear, I won't let anyone take you from me, my dear. Never. Never, ever, ever. Ah, I know, right, my dear, 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 my dear. Ah, I just had to get that out of my system, my dear. My dear, 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 my dear. My dear, 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 my dear. My dear, my dear, my dear, my dear, my dear, my dear, my dear. My dear, 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 my dear. Boop. Ah, my dear.
Morphy ASMR.
Ah, hello, my dear. It's so good to see you, my dear. Oh, I heard that you were looking for me, my dear. My dear, my dear, my dear. Did you really miss me already, my dear? What a fucking clingy. Ah, just kidding, my dear. Can't the guy just make a joke? My dear, I'm very hungry right now. I could eat a deer, my dear. So what is it that you desire, my dear? What is it that you need, my dear? What is it that's in your soul, my dear? Great moogly woogly, my dear. You want to cuddle, my dear? You want a cuddle, my dear? My dear, you want a cuddle. Next to me, my dear. How quaint, my dear. You're not kidding, my dear. You're not even slightly joking. You are being absolutely serious. I don't know, my dear. I've never been that close with anyone, my dear. I'm just kidding. Twist my arm, why don't you, my dear? Fine. I guess we can cuddle, my dear. If you don't mind, my dear, then, well, I don't mind. Perhaps I can whisper in your ears to commit such heinous acts, my dear. Just the thought of it, my dear. Oh, how devious, how diabolical, my dear. Have you been counting how much times I've said, my dear? Well, I hope it's not over 10 already, my dear. Don't count that, my dear. Or that, my dear. Or that, my dear. Or that, my dear. Or that, my dear. Oh, I digress, my dear. My dear. I'm sorry. I just can't help it, my dear. I love to say my dear. My dear. Fine, my dear. I will cuddle with you, my dear. Is this sufficient, my dear? How lucky you are, my dear. My dear. Do you like being this close to me, my dear? Because I do. I like having this power over you, my dear. My dear, I love having this proximity to you, my dear. Just stay close, my dear. Just stay this close. Perfect, my dear, perfect. I like being close to you, my dear. I like being able to breathe down that delicious neck of yours, my dear. I can't wait to see you fall from grace in your hopes to be so good. I just can't wait to see all that evil come out. My dear. My dear. Never forget, my dear. You're all mine, my dear. Never forget this contract you've signed, my dear. It means you belong to me. Your mind, your body, your soul, my dear. It's all mine. Never, ever forget that, my dear. Now, come on. Let me cuddle you. Help you get some well-deserved sleep, my dear. I love you, my dear. My dear, my dear, my dear. How did you miss me, my dear? Did you miss Radio Daddy? Oh, I've just embraced what you've called me, my dear. So yes, darling, you may call me Radio Daddy. As long as you give yourself to me, well, I will make sure that no one lays a finger on you. Ah, oh, your sweet naivete makes me chuckle. You're so eager, aren't you, my dear? Why don't you start by proclaiming that you are mine? Say it. Say, I'm yours. My dear, my darling. And you are mine. Let's not forget it, my dear. My dear, you are fantastic, wonderful, fabulous. I could just devour you right now. Shall I take you under the bed sheets right now, my dear? Ah, ha, 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 ha. My dear, you are such a fair maiden, my dear. Let me kiss those beautiful soft hands of yours. You're mine, my dear. Lest you forget it. Don't you dare think of letting other people have you. Don't you dare let someone else touch you. If anyone even thinks about laying a single itty-bitty finger on you, I will tear them limb from limb and tear their fucking guts out. And that's just me going easy on them. I could easily rip their vocal cords out and deprive them of being able to speak, but I'll be merciful for a first warning. Only a first warning. The second won't be as pleasant, my dear. Because only I can ravage you to my heart's content. My dear? Hello, my dear. My dear. My dear, my darling. You seem frozen. Are you afraid? Are you afraid of me, my dear? Don't worry. I'm not going to hurt you, my dear. Well, not yet. I've really gotten to you, haven't I, my dear? It's fun to see you this way. I will treat you how you deserve. You will be spoiled and tended to, my dear. But at times you must be sternly reprimanded. Yes, my dear. You are good. But there are rules to this. And we must make sure you learn, my dear. You sound very excited, my dear. My eyes almost narrowed from what you just said. You want me to punish you, my dear? You are quite the eager one, aren't you, my dear? You've broken one of my rules, my dear. And the punishment for breaking the rules is... I think you know what it is, my dear. Oh, you're begging me to punish you, my dear? You have truly fallen from grace, my dear, and fallen into my arms. Do you feel my grip on your face become more tight? I am practically squishing your cheeks with one hand, my dear. I am enjoying this quite a lot. And you still look enthusiastic, my dear. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, my dear. Now that's what I like to hear, my dear. That's what I like to hear. Oh, my dear, you have really fallen for me. Are you really that in love with me, my dear? Are you really that head over heels for me? Oh, that is so adorable, my dear. Though, I must admit, my dear, I have fallen for you too. And I love you so much that I just want to punish you right now. Get over here, my dear. I'm gonna punish you. Na 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 na. My dear, I didn't take you for such a pervert. Ah, my dear, did you not realize that the door was closed? I did not know you were such a peeping Tom. Wonderful, wonderful. You really knocked it out of the park, my dear. I wonder what was going on in your head when you opened that door, my dear. Oh my. Why, why, why didn't you knock, my dear? Is it really so difficult for you to knock? Oh, now I can't ignore you, my dear. I just have to be by your side. Oh, you've caught me in the middle of my dressing. I do apologize, my dear. It seems you've seen more than you've intended to. Oh, my dear, that wasn't a third leg. Try not to think too much about it, my dear, okay? Oh, what a lovely sight you are. Did you enjoy the sight of me, my dear? My. Someone was in such a rush. They couldn't wait a moment before barging in. Oh, don't mind me, my dear. I was just... Oh, my dear! Are you blushing, my dear? Are you blushing? So adorable. Look at you, all red, just like me. It's alright, my dear. I should be dressing in a more private area. Oh, I believe you definitely are, darling. You seem to have caught quite the eyeful. Perhaps you've seen a little bit too much, my dear? Ah, my dear. You're red like a tomato. So red. So fragile. Oh, I don't lock my doors, my dear. I enjoy the thrill of someone walking in and seeing me like this. Don't you just enjoy when someone walks in on you naked? And why would I lock my door? Why would I need to? It's just me and you here, my dear. And I'm quite confident in my appearance. Aren't you confident in my appearance, my dear? Good. Plus, I never expected anyone to walk into my room unannounced. You are quite the surprise, my dear. I love that about you. Why, of course I am, my dear. You may walk in on me anytime you like. You don't even need to knock. You can just barge right in whenever I'm naked. Oh, go on, make it a habit. Do it. Oh, why? Well, perhaps maybe I would enjoy the thought. Maybe I get excited at your reactions, my dear. You do seem to get flustered very easily, my dear. It's quite entertaining. Oh, why? Because it's quite pleasing to see you turn into such a flustered, red-faced mess. And it seems like you enjoy the views anyway. So, why not let me do you a favor? I give you permission to walk in on me any time you please. Oh, how dare I? Oh, my dear, aren't you enjoying this, my dear? You look adorable when you're so worked up. Don't act like you don't like it, my dear. You love it when I tease you. And tease you I shall, because the next time you walk in on me changing, I'm gonna fuck your brains out. That's right, dear. You're blushing, just like the good little thing you are. Aren't you? My dear, you are perfect. I love this side of you. So red. Just blushing, shaking and sweating. Ooh, it's getting me excited. My dear, I've noticed I must have quite the effect on you, don't I? And I look forward to abusing my power on you. You might as well sell your soul to me right now. Sign here, here, here. And you are now completely mine. Oh, my dear. Oh, my dear. You are my property now, my dear. I won't let anyone else take you from me.
Morphy ASMR.
'Cause you're a loser, baby. Oh, ho, 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 my dear. Revenge. Did you think that I would forget about the time that you walked in on me changing? Now it's my turn. Oh, what are you doing, my dear? Enjoying that nice jacuzzi? Not on my watch. My dear, you've been caught red-handed. Caught using hotel amenities, using the jacuzzi, using this room. My dear, you've been caught. Perhaps I should tell Charlie. Or not. Maybe I should just enjoy this jacuzzi with you. Do 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 da 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 la da 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 da. Come on, sing with me. Bravo, bravo! Da da da. Ah, my dear. My dear. You are so adorable. I'm glad you sold your soul to me. I like owning you. In fact, I want you utterly and completely mine. Oh, my dear. Ah, such a warm jacuzzi. Even warmer than the depths of hell itself. I will enjoy a nice ice cream. While we are enjoying this jacuzzi. Oh, this is delicious, my dear. Ah, not as delicious as eating an animal raw, my dear, but still. My dear, I love it, my dear. My dear, I could eat this alongside, well, a deer, my dear. Not as delicious as you, my dear. You have a taste that I find irresistible. I could just gobble you up, my dear. What do you say? I mean, your soul is mine. You're practically my slave. I could do whatever I want with you, my dear. Whatever I want. My dear. You are absolutely stunning, my dear. You would be perfect for the picture show, my dear. And even tastier than this treat, my dear. My dear, don't be so shy, my dear. You are so red, my dear. Really red. Are you blushing? Do I have that effect on you again? Ah, who could blame you, my dear? Oh, you are so adorable. You're so cute, my dear. You're so naive and adorable and cute. I just want to make you moan my name, my dear. All night long. Is this blueberry? Ah, my dear. Did I interrupt your bath, my dear? Nonsense. You adore my presence, my dear. I know you do. be like you, my dear. Come here. I could just choke the life out of you, my dear. Remember who you belong to. Remember it well, my dear. Oh, my dear. Look at you. I don't think the heat of this bath is what's making you red in the face, my dear. I have such a profound effect on you. Ah, my dear. You poor little thing, my dear. Ah, you are magnificent. Spectacular! Ah, I could just take you right now and be all over you, my dear. Have you ever done it in a pool? In a tub? Oh, my dear, I could just do it everywhere with you. But such a thing doesn't interest me right now, my dear. I just like seeing you squirm. Look at you, so nervous, blushing. Ah, my dear, you really, really, really are crazy for me, my dear. I'll let you continue your bath, my dear. Ta-ta! Ha 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 ha! Hello, my dear! Are you enjoying this leash? Ah, but my dear, I do so love it when you struggle. You make it sound as though you don't love it. Darling, it is no mystery that you are my most passionate companion. That's the spirit. Now then, dear, let's not get too restless. All right? Ha ha ha! Oh. That's right, my dear. Be good. What was that, dear? I'm afraid I couldn't quite hear you. Oh, but I do love to tease and mock you. It's simply in my nature. My dear, you don't mind it too much, don't you? Fuck you. There's a reason I am a sinner, you know, my dear. And I'm certain you like this little game of yours. You seem more excited now, my dear. Come now, my dear. When was the last time you were this stirred? I must say, my dear, you are quite the feisty one. Oh, I'm planning on it. I will get the last laugh. See? You are enjoying this, aren't you? Oh, but you are, my dear, you are. I can see your smiles. You just don't know how to hide it, my dear. Oh, have I been choking you? Aww. Now, my dear, I've been so rude. Here, let me let go of the leash. Mwah. I see I've really gotten to you now, haven't I? I've really gotten to you. Ah ha ha ha! Oh, damn me. You know it's cute when you're all flustered like this. Oh, my dear, you are very flustered. It's quite adorable. You look so cute. I could just pinch you right now. Now, do you know what is the real reward for being a good girl? First, you must say, I love you, master. Oh? What was that? What? I couldn't hear you. You'll have to be a bit louder, my dear. How much do you love me? I am the only one that can satisfy your needs? Oh, that's adorable, my dear. Now, how about you stand up? Oh, you can't. Your legs have been shaking from how, well, let's just say you're not exactly dry down there, my dear. I suppose I shall assist you. Oh, I am aware of my own strength, dear. But don't worry. You have your own abilities. You have your own strength. You know how to make someone like me feel special. Oh, I do plan. My dear, I do plan it. I will ravage you to my heart's content. Or, what if I were to hold off on doing that for now? What would you do, my dear? I know you need me, my dear. You can't resist. You can't resist my allure towards you. I am the only one that can meet your needs, my dear. So how about you be a good girl? That's right, my dear. That's right. My dear, perhaps I shall give you a nice meal. Perhaps a beef stroganoff, my dear. Ah, fuck you. You're mine. Why, that was such a lovely fireworks show. I was moved to tears, my dear. Oh my goodness gracious. That was wonderful. Oh, I would give my applause right now if I wasn't holding your hand right now. Oh, don't let go, my dear. I prefer if you held my hand like that. Oh, now Daddy likes that. Yeah, Daddy likey holding hands. Oh, my dear, how are you? Did you enjoy the fireworks display? If you didn't, I'm breaking up with you. No, I am kidding. Can't you see that I am just, joshing around? That's what today's demons say, I think. Well, well. You and I are learning some new vocabulary here. Well, my dear, have you enjoyed your time? Brilliant! I am so glad to hear that from you. This is terrific news. News that I am so glad to hear every day. Every day. Why? Because I care for you, my dear. You thought I wouldn't care about you, my dear, but you were wrong. Oh, the minute I saw you, you captured my heart, my dear. That is not something anyone can boast about. But here we are. Indeed, here we are. Well, what do you have to say about that? I feel like you are guilty of stealing my fragile heart. If I had one, which I don't know, you'll have to figure that out. Well. I guess I do have a soft side after all. This is your fault. I was satisfied, content even, just to be the plain old radio demon that everyone feared. Except for Charlie and her friends, I guess. But since you entered my life, well, I've not known quiet or peace ever since. And you know what? I kind of enjoy it. My dear, why have you just kicked the doors and entered my life? Huh, my dear? You were absolutely mind-boggling. My brain could not figure out what to make of you, but I guess my heart just decided that it was you. It was you. But now that I think about it, hearts don't have emotions. I mean, it all comes from the brain. So why is that? Why is that the saying? Like, you captured my heart shouldn't be. It'd be like you captured my whatever that thing in the brain is. It gives you feelings and emotions. I don't know. That's food for thought. And speaking of food, I've made some delicious stroganoff for us to eat. Yes, we've already eaten. That's our date dinner, but the stroganoff. will be the dinner we have at home. You know, the home dinner for the couple that goes home together and loves each other at home. The food we had, I consider that an appetizer. Oh, you're surprised. Why? Because of my slender and slim form? Even though we've eaten so much today? Whew, well, my diets are a secret. You will never find out. What is the technique? You won't find out. Good luck, my dear. You will forever chase this dream body of mine. Ooh, ooh, boom, boom, boom. Oh, my dear. Oh, I can see the jealousy on your face already. What do you make of this glorious look? Aren't I dreamy? Oh, I can see your piercing gaze. It won't escape me. Oh, my dear. Oh, don't look at me like that, my dear. I feel embarrassed. Why, you are such a devil, my dear. Look at you with that glare. Ooh. Ooh. Is it getting hot in here or is it just hell? Well, don't worry. Nothing like an AC to crank up the coolness. Your hotness won't work against me, my dear. And if you try, I will just crank up the AC. I don't know where I'm going with this metaphor, but yeah. Oh, my dear. My dear. Well, I have run out of smart lines to make you feel giddy inside, but I guess, well, my dear, all I have to say is that I'm glad to have you in my life. Yeah, you've signed a contract for life. Now you'll never escape me. Just talking non-stop and never shutting up. Oh, you are doomed, my dear. But don't worry, I will love you. Always.
My dear, why are we preparing for Halloween when, well, we're already in hell? This does not make any sense, my dear. Why do we need to? Fine. I will partake in this pumpkin carving. Oh well, I guess I must do this, my dear. I'm done. I made a sculpture out of a pumpkin. What do you mean that it is not what you are looking for? You want me to make a face with a pumpkin? Is that it? My dear. Really? Such an underwhelming way to use my skills in carving. I could make statues out of these pumpkins, and yet you choose to, well, make faces. I mean, what is the importance of making faces with these pumpkins? How is it related to Halloween? What is Halloween? We're already in hell. We already look spooky. Oh well. I guess I'll play along. Just for you. I mean, the thought of Halloween is pretty nice. The fact that everybody here in hell will embrace their innermost desires to become even eviler, to look even evil, more evil. I guess that I like it. Well, my dear. Now, with that thought, I'm fully into Halloween. I am all in, my dear. All in. So, shall we? Here, I made a face. It looks like Charlie. What? What do you mean that's not how a pumpkin face should be? What is it this time? Oh, baby, you're just jealous at Charlie, aren't you? I'm surprised you're not jealous at Angel instead. But, oh well. Fine. I'll fix this pumpkin just for you. Here. Say good now. It looks like every other pumpkin here. Such a waste of my talents, my dear. But for you, I shall let you have this normal pumpkin. I can't believe that made you happy, but oh well. Oh well, I could make things better, but okay. Well, are we ready now? Are we ready to do something else? Ah, my dear, yes. Now that sounds quite exquisite. We have to decorate the entire hotel. Let me just round up a few corpses. Oh, I'm kidding. Maybe not. I mean, the more real it looks, the better. Am I right? What's wrong? We'll end up back here anyway. Fine. Okay, we'll use paper mache and all that jazz. I'll tell Nifty to do something. Or I don't know. We will get this hotel done in no time. I shall put the pumpkins I made in the front desk. That will scare our guests. This is gonna be so exhilarating. You are gonna enjoy the best Halloween ever. And I can't believe it's raining in hell. What kind of weather do we have anyway? Oh well. All that rain, it can't take away my sunshine, which is you. I am hungry. We need to eat dinner like we used to, my dear. Dinner is always best served warm. And in a table, especially on a date, my dear. Don't worry about the details. I can have it arranged. Oh, I can have it arranged. What was that? Oh, yes. Don't worry. Well, my dear, you still have a lot of stuff to do. Let's finish this quick so we can have our special romantic evening, you know? It's going to be quite fabulous. Quite fabulous. Oh, my dear. This is going to be such a rare. It'll be a date worthy of the picture show. And it's going to be so fun, my dear. Let us go. Let us go now. Let's just let Nifty do all the work. And we can have our romantic salsa night. Yay. Come on, my dear. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You and I, we are going places. I mean, I've already told you where, but it's a place. Definitely a place. Let us go. Come, take my hand with very sharp claws. Just come with me. Well, hello! Hello! How I missed you once again. You are the sunshine of my life. If there was any sunshine in hell, which there isn't, but thinking about you is probably equivalent to that. So, I missed you a lot, and how to flirt? I do not know how to flirt, but I just think that you are quite amazing. Well, now that's out of the way, we should celebrate, because we are reunited once again. So, maybe I should break out into song and dance once again? No. You kinda hate those, don't you? Or maybe you love them, who knows, but I certainly do love breaking out into dance. Well, now, it's no big deal. We don't have to, break into song and dance all the time. It just doesn't have to be all the time. I was just suggesting that maybe I'm too happy that you're here, so I just wanted to, sing a song and, celebrate. But it's okay if you do not want to do that. It's alright. It's like, oh, damn, listener, back at that again. Damn, you got the whole squad laughing. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm happy to see you. And give me a little snuggle. How I missed you so much. Life isn't the same without you, or technically death, since we're in hell, but you know the drill. My oh my. I've never felt this warm in my entire life. I guess this is your effect on me. How dare you give me feelings and emotions? My true purpose here is just to take over everything and watch people of hell try to change for the better, but ultimately fail. But you're here giving me a heart and emotions. That is quite weird. That is quite odd. Am I gonna do anything to change it? No, because I love you. There, I said it. I love you. With all my beating red or black heart, I don't know. I don't know how my anatomy works. Yeah. So, I missed you. I was just counting the days, the hours, the minutes, the seconds while you were gone, so I could just find you again, once again. I mean, I could just show up anytime, but I am a traditional being of hell, and I would love to, not just appear out of nowhere, but to see you in a natural sort of way without, suddenly surprising you. So, we schedule our meetings and our dates, and here we are. Two magnificent beings together. Oh, they will write about us someday in some sort of poem or novel, or some biography, or documentary. The documentary of Alastor the Radio Demon / Radio Daddy and his beautiful, gorgeous, sexy listener. That's you. And I can't wait till we leave a legacy of how true love should be. We are the ideal lovers. If, you believe in that kind of stuff, but I like to think that we are some sort of soulmates, if you will. I'm not usually this type of, I don't usually talk about love in this matter. I never thought that I could actually love or show emotions and feelings, but here you are, messing up with my mind and my heart. Well, technically not my heart. Your heart can't feel emotions. It's in your brain, your hypothalamus. I don't know which part of your brain causes you to show emotions, attraction, and so on and so forth, but your heart is just something that pumps blood. Anyway, enough with the science facts. I just want you to know that I am your radio daddy, if you ever need one. Or I could just be your regular old radio sweetie. If you want to be a bit naughty, you could always ask for Radio Daddy. I was just messing with you. But you were considering it, weren't you? I mean, who wouldn't consider it? Because, just look at me. Am I not a fine specimen? This is what the ideal male should look like. Antlers, pale skin. Sounds like they swallowed a radio at birth. But anyway, enough about the amazing old me. More about the perfect you. And even if you weren't perfect, I'd still think you are the perfect one for me. I've said perfect way too many times, but yeah. I am thankful to have you in my life. Death, whatever. Hell is confusing, alright. I hate everything here. I wish I could just destroy everything. But you don't want that. You actually like it here. You want people to change for the better. I disagree, but fine, we'll have it your way, but I'll be observing, watching, eating popcorn as hell's worst try to change for the better to ultimately fail. Maybe you should hold my hand right now. I believe couples do that to show affection, and I'm feeling quite affectionate right now. So, would you hold my hand? I would love to hold your hand. If that's not too much for you, a hee hee, ooh woo, oh wow, XD, roar. that's what the kids say these days. See, I can be a hip radio daddy. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ah, ha ha. Ho ho. Ho ho ho. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho. Well, this is quite sweet. Only thing we need now is stars. If only there was stars in hell, but maybe I could try and make one using my powers. I could toss someone in the air and just, zap them until they explode, but then there'll be a shower of blood. Never mind with that idea. This right here is enough. Just you and me together. Inseparable and stuck like glue. Well, how does it feel? Ain't it a bit sweet? Got both my hands on my chin and my knuckles on my cheeks, just observing how beautiful you are. Quite the pretty, and did I say pretty person you are. I am the luckiest radio demon alive to have you. Well, I'm the only radio demon alive. I mean, Mama Alastor and Papa Alastor are no more. Unless Bibsy Pop changes that. I don't know. She's in charge with the lore. I don't know. I could be a rock star the next day, or a baker. Who knows? The possibilities, as long as the writers write me right. I hope they do, because I had the potential to be the star of the show. Not Charlie. Charlie's ridiculous with her singing and dancing and... Oh, I do that too? Huh. You are right. You're quite right. Need some time to process that. Process that. I will process that. My THs are messing up because I'm a radio demon. Well, I now just realized I have more in common with Charlie than I think. I don't know if I should be happy with that, because I guess we're associates or more or less friends. Or I should be sick of that since she thinks so highly of reform in hell, but I'm just watching them, fall down from their attempts to be good. But enough about that. You're a cutie. How's life? Tell me about it. I've been dying to hear about your life. Well, I can't be dying because we're already in hell. I'm already dead, so that means we're double dead. I should stop talking to Angel Dust about these weird thoughts. Anyway, you were saying? Quite the adventurous life you lead. I'm quite jealous. You. Y-O-U are amazing. You are quite the inspiration in my life. The heart to my soul. If that makes any sense. I've been trying to learn how to flirt from Angel Dust, so more or less give me a break here. Anyway, I'm happy. I am quite happy to be with you. I've already said that, but I mean it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, but what I wanted to say that I didn't practice for or anything is you keeping you. I mean, we may disagree on some views, but I wouldn't love you if you had any different views, or if you were a different person. Be proud of who you are always, especially here in hell where there's a bunch of psychos around. It's always good to stick to your roots, so you can pull out the roots of others. And if it's any consolation, I will be by your side through thick and thin, through the deepest fires of hell. I mean, we're already in hell, so, no problemo. S'il vous plaît? No problem, please. That's what I wanted to say, but, I just mix two languages, and it's quite ridiculous, haha. But I love you. Aishiteru. Ti amo. Mahal kita. And everything. That means I love you in all languages, because I'm too lazy to look everything up in Google Translate. I love you. And if anyone ever tries to mess with you, I will beat them until they are but a tiny little smudge on the dirt. But anyway, give me a snuggle. Oh, that's so sweet. I love it when you cuddle with me. It is the best feeling in the world. I got you this stuffed toy. It is a wolf. Because I wolf you. I wolf you. I wolf you. Ow, ow, ow. I mean, I can't howl really loud right now because there's a bunch of, wolf people in hell. And if they heard me trying to impersonate them, I'm just saying, I'm a deer. They're wolves. I mean, I'm still powerful, but still, the thought of wolves chasing me is quite horrific, if you know what I mean. Plus, you are here, and I am here to protect you. Always. Well, we should have dinner soon. I wonder what we should eat. Such a wide array of food in hell. We have McDonald's, KFC, Jollibee, Burger King, IHOP, TGI Fridays in hell, and a bunch of other restaurants. Don't ask why. There's a bunch of fast food chains in hell and a bunch of restaurants. I don't know either. I'm not Charlie's dad. You ask him. But anyway, we could just cook like the usual. You like my beef stroganoff, right? Or maybe we could make some instant noodles because I'm lazy. Huh? Hellflix and chill. Yeah. Come on. Poke. I love you very, very much. I wolf you. Is it getting hot in here? Or is it you? Never mind, it's hell. It's always hot here. It's so godforsakenly hot here. Ooh. When I take over as ruler of hell and beat the living crap out of Charlie's dad, I will install an air conditioner around hell. Don't ask how it will be possible. I will make it possible because I am Alastor, the radio demon. I can do anything in this world. should be watching the hotel right now because it's my turn. It's my shift. Charlie's gonna kill me, but don't worry, I got my boy Husker on the case to provide me an alibi. As long as I don't run into any of Charlie's friends, we'll be fine. So let's go. Let's go. In the words of someone from South Park, screw you guys, we're going home. So, Hellflix and chill. Come on, give me a snuggle. Ooh, oh, you're so cute. You're so cuddly. I would love to give you little radio babies. I'm kidding. I am just joking. I love you. Through all the good and the bad sides of you, I will always love you. Come here. Greetings, my dear. You are looking gorgeous as ever. Give Alastor some love. My dear, how much I've missed you. How much I've craved for your presence here. Oh, is that a little tear I see falling from your eyes? Oh, come here, come here. Come here. Let me wipe those tears away. You know I love you, my dear. You know I always protect you, my dear. So what is the matter? My dear, I'll always protect you, okay? You are lovely. You are quite lovely. I've always been fond of you, my dear. You are simply magnificent. You are gorgeous, splendid, spectacular, etc., etc., etc. You are mine, and I am yours forevermore. This is why you can always confide in me, my dear. Your humble feelings are accepted here. You know that I would never do anything to hurt you, my dear. So, let us turn that frown upside down, because if you have a dream, well, that is really supreme. Sweetie, you are very valid, sweetie. Very valid. To be honest, you have caught my love. And I will always love you, sweetie. Forever and always. For it is only you and me in this world. We are the only demons here who care about each other. Ain't that sweet? Well, there is Charlie who cares about every villain. I don't know. She thinks every demon she can turn from a villain to a good, upstanding citizen, and la 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 la. I'm not listening to Charlie. La 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 la. Charlie. Every time Charlie this, Charlie that. Good, goody two shoes. I hate working at a hotel. No, I actually enjoy working in her hotel. It's just that she really thinks that she can rehabilitate these demons. Oh, they're demons for Pete's sake. We're in hell. We are in the underworld. There is no changing all of these evil bad guys. We are the epitome of evil. Which is why you and me are such a perfect fit together, because we're so bad. How bad can I be? We'll leave this world in a catastrophe. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Oh, I'm just so delighted to have you around. Being with you gives me ultimate joy. The ultimate joy of just spending time with you, my dear. Nothing can beat it. Beat it! Beat it! No one wants to beat it! Beat it! You and me, baby. We are gonna reach for the stars and land on the moon. Because that's how amazing we are. We are infinite. This is gonna be a blitz of our love. Our love will fill the entire world. So don't be sad, my dear. Don't be sad, for I will always be with you. I will always comfort you. Even when it doesn't feel like you are happy, I will be there for you. Always. Forever and always. Forever and ever. You, my dear, we have spent so much time together. And I know when you are down. And I will always be there to make those cheeks and mouth smile. What can I say? I have a habit of turning that frown upside down, my dear. So don't ever forget it, my dear. My dear. My dear. Take a shot every time I say my dear. I will protect you. Always. Now let us be off. Oh, you wanna know why? It is because yes, me, Alastor, I require cuddles from you. So let us be off with it and, cuddle with me. Oh ho ho, well, hello there. Hi, how are you? Welcome back. I've missed you. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? But I have missed you quite a lot. Do not worry, for I am still here. I have not been lost. The only been lost to me is you. I have missed you. And it's been quite a while since we've last spoken. But I have been taking care of the denizens of hell. As you can see, there's this just new delivery to have that I will torment for the rest of eternity. Yeah, I think this person was sent to hell for, I believe, plagiarism, stealing other people's work and then reposting it. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, I'm going to have some fun with this one. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ha ha ha! This is where the fun begins. But let's put that aside for later. Because I have missed you. You have been the apple of my eye since you've fallen down into the abyss. But now we are together. And that is the best part of life. We are together forever. Nothing can separate us. Not even the heavens above can do it. For we are demons. But demons, for Pete's sake, there is no redeeming us. But the only thing we can take control of is who we end up loving. And boy, oh boy, do I love you. I love you. You love me too, don't you? Just say it. Just say it. It'll be so good to hear, you know. I would love to hear you say that you love me. You are quite adorable, aren't you? So cute. So exciting. I would love to be with you for the rest of my life. I love you, my dear. I will set the hounds on the plagiarizer so we may have a date together. Wouldn't it be so fun? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hell is getting extremely hot tonight. And I have you. I can't wait to go out on a date with you. It seems quite extraordinary. It'll be a jolly good show. Just like in the picture show, where the man and the woman end up together, they get married, have a honeymoon, and ultimately they date each other and love each other and have children, and that becomes the worst mistake of their life, and they start resenting each other because they had a child, and they end up having a divorce. Isn't that so romantic? I can just dream it now. Being with you, having little radio demons, and you being in the worst mood possible when you're pregnant. we'll start resenting each other. But we still love each other, don't worry. We would never have a divorce, don't you think? We are inseparable. We are together forever. Oh. Oh. It's getting really hot in here. But I quite adore you so much, very much. I am Alastor, and I proudly exclaim that I am in love with you. So don't you ever forget that. 'Cause I never will. I'll never forget what you have done for me and everyone else. You are one of a kind. I will say it again for the people in the back. You are one of a kind. You don't steal anything. You are quite good. You deserve all the love in the world. You are quite adorable. Not even the heats, the fires of hell can beat how hot you are. That is why you deserve all the love in the universe from me, and anyone who touches you will be dead. It's going to be so fun. Don't you think so? It will be so fun. You are amazing. You deserve everything because you are amazing. I will forever make sure that you are treated with love, treated like royalty, and every other demon shall be your peasant that you will have control over. Yes. You and I will rule the underworld. First, we have to do something about Charlie's parents. But then we will rule the underworld together. We will be the rulers of hell, and everyone will bow down to us. So that's why we will secretly play along with this hotel shtick. And then it'll be all over for Charlie and her family. We have to deal with her companions as well. I believe her name's Maggie or something. And then there's that effeminate fellow. You know, he told me to suck his... never mind. You can do that for me instead. Come here, you. Hello, my dear. I have missed you, my dear. Give me a smooch. I have missed you so very much. I've missed you. I've said that too many times, but I have truly missed you, and I will not stop missing you even if it is my final days. Ah, my dear, everything is better now that you are here. Jolly, jolly, jolly good show. I have enjoyed this time waiting for you. I will always be happily waiting for you. Anyway, how are you, my dear? Tell me all about your magnificent time. I hope it's not too magnificent when I'm not around. So, tell me. Magnificent! That was a terrific story. Would make for the picture show if you asked me. But you are all mine. I will not share you with the terrible, terrible Hollywood. I do not want you to be in the picture show. I want you to be in the show of my life. My itty bitty terrible heart. This will be terrific. Terrific indeed. With you by my side, we are unstoppable. We are forces that cannot be destroyed. We will rule the underworld. It's like an ancient prophecy. We are destined to be together. And together we shall be forever and ever. Ah, my dear, nothing can stop us now, for we will always be with each other. So, what do you think? Terrific! Oh, I knew you'd love the idea. See, great minds think alike, especially if they're madly in love. Oh, my queen, my empress of the underworld, we shall rule it together. What do you mean, Charlie? Charlie can just take care of her hotel. Oh, her parents, we'll take care of that. Do not worry. Oh, this is going to be magnificent. Ooh, is this a penny? Well, don't mind if I do. Well, we should eat something. I make some great stroganoff. It is terrific, if I do say so myself. And it'll be jolly good, jolly good. You will love it. Just as I have always loved you. I will always love you until the end of my days. probably never happen because we are in hell and we will rule this place for eternity, so our love is infinite. You know that saying, to infinity and beyond. Oh, this is some good food. Did I not tell you that I made some good stroganoff? Now, say ah for the airplane. Ah, ooh, yes. Now, say ah for the choo-choo train. Chugga, 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 choo-choo. Chugga, chugga, chugga. Eat this. You know that one anime called My Hero Academia? Where they say, eat this. Eat this. Yeah, that was a pretty funny scene, don't you think? I'm glad to see you enjoying your food. Of course, I love seeing you happy, enjoying your meal. It's because I love you, and I want you to feel loved forever. Now, I will eat my favorite meal, cold cereal. that was a good meal. Now, to drink the milk. An unappreciated climax to eating cereal. Mm. Fantastic! Did we have a magnificent dinner? Well, you were just kind of watching me eat cereal for the past few minutes or so, but wasn't it a magnificent dinner? I love it, and I love you. Hello there, my fellow. How are you doing? I've quite missed you. Having you around has been the joy of my life. Though, I must say, where have you been? Well, aside from in my heart, I have been wondering, what have you been up to recently? Because I just don't know. Where on earth have you been? Oh, me? Well, I may be going overboard with a little murder here and there, but we're demons, for Pete's sake. We do this for a living. Yeah, it's quite fun. Why do you have to be such a goody two-shoes like Charlie? Do I have to break out in song and dance again for you? We have a dream, wish to tell. Well, beautiful. I guess it's time for us to spend some time together once again. Just like the old days. Oh, how I've missed your company. You're not just gonna walk beside me. Of course, I must wrap my arm around you and maybe hold your hand as well. Oh, how romantic. Just makes my red and black heart actually feel like I have a sense of humanity. You have that effect on me. Must never lose that trait, because it's a rare thing. As Charlie says, we demons need a little bit more humanity. But I don't believe her. I think that every demon will just fall back into their old ways and hurt each other. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ah ah ah. Ha 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 ha. Oh, how I've missed you. Oh, give me a little snuggle right here. Oh, how I've missed this feeling. You're like my little cream puff. My little snuggle buddy. Let's just enjoy this moment together. A little moment of silence for our snuggles. Well, it's time to get to work. We need to return to being partners in crime. I've missed you so much. I've said it so many times, but I've missed you, I've missed you, I've missed you, I've missed you, I've missed you. And we have got work to do. The whole world must see us, the glorious couple. We shall be the face of hell. I can feel it now. The spotlight on us is like what you see on the picture show. Those lovey-dovey romances, oh, they make my heart go ooh woo. Aren't you the cutest? Why are you so silent, my dear? Man. Before it was me struggling to flirt, now you're the one who's barely talking. Maybe you should take a page out of Angel Dust's book. I remember the first time I met him. It was like it was yesterday. I remember I came up to him and I asked him, "What can I do for what?" Oh, no. What was that again? Oh. I asked him, "What can you do, my effeminate fellow?" And he was like, "I can suck your dick." And I was like, "No." I remember it like it was yesterday. But all these memories are just fleeting. We must create new ones for love, for passion, for the destruction, for chaos. I hate that last word. Anyway, come give me more snuggles. I just can't help but miss you. Oh, my heart pounds as it aches for your comfort, for your presence, and now you're here. I could just kiss you right now if my mouth was made for kissing. But anyway. You may have not noticed, but while we were walking, I may have disintegrated a couple of undesirable demons on the way. Don't worry, nobody's gonna miss them. They didn't even have families anyway. I've missed this so much. I've missed you. I just miss holding your arm with one hand, then committing mass genocide in the other. But maybe I ought to start holding you with both hands. Would it feel better if you were in my warm embrace? Is that something that you would like? I may or may not have picked up a few tricks of seduction from Angel Dust. Perhaps you find me quite charming. I hope you do. I hope you find me quite extraordinary. I meant it when I said I missed you. I mean, I said it about 1,000 times, but I meant it all the same. I have missed your company. Oh my goodness. It's such a cute thing. I would pinch your cheeks right now if my hands it's so sharp that they could rip your flesh off. But anyway, all I'm saying is, I miss you. I love you. And ooh. You're the one that I care about the most. Well, I care about barely anything here, so you don't have much competition anyway. Maybe the hotel is your competition, but that's pretty much it. I am terrific, aren't I? Well, maybe dinner again? I picked up this amazing recipe for beef stroganoff. You should try it. Come on, let's go. Let me hold your hand as we go and ride into the sunset together. Ho, ho, ho. Ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 demon knives. Hello there. How are you? Have you been eating your vegetables? Have you been drinking your milk? Have you been a good little person this Christmas? 'Cause it is the month, the season, the the hour, the week, the month, the days to be jolly, I suppose. I suppose you have to be happy in a day where you are required to give other people gifts. Though I do not know if you are receiving one. Perhaps that oh so fine tradition needs to be enforced. Well, darling, don't worry, because I have a present for you. Ho 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 ho, ho ho ho. Perhaps you should start calling me Santa Claus. Well, Merry Christmas. Here is my gift for you. It is the same thing I received. Knives, demon knives. You could use knives for anything at your heart's desire. Honestly, you could use it against someone who you do not like, or maybe someone you like. Yeah, just kidnap the person that catches your heart. And then point a knife to his face so that he may or she may love you forever. Or they, whatever pronouns that the person you like uses. Anyway, do you like the gift? I see you look a bit confused, so perhaps that I should give you something, I don't know, maybe another gift? Oh, here. This is my favorite dart set, except it's laced with poison, so you can use it for your enemies. You just toss that right into their face. Isn't it exciting? You can just throw it at them, and they wouldn't even notice until the poison set in. Or maybe they'll notice the needle sticking in them. But, it's like a syringe, honestly. With this knife, you may be able to get your heart's desire. Anything you want will be yours. Just point a knife against someone's face and you'll have their adoration. I do love Christmas. Christmas is a magical season. It's where everyone pretends to be nice to each other. Families reunite, drama ensues, and everyone tries to be the better person only for them to fail deeply. Oh, well, that's enough of Christmas, I guess. I mean, maybe we should keep talking about Christmas. I mean, look at the snow. It's pretty nice. Oh, that is pretty beautiful. The snowflakes falling down into hell's flames. What about you? Any other wishes you want for Christmas? Just say what you want and I will murder the next person that comes across us. Oh, jolly good. This is pretty fun. I love Christmas. I love having you around for Christmas. Perhaps you should stay around more for, all the holidays, all the seasons. Next time it'll probably be Halloween, so that will be fun. We can, go on a murder spree. I mean, that's probably around the time that hell has its cleansing, so it'll be pretty fun. I love the holidays. Everybody's trying to do good. Even though the basic instinct of human beings is to be evil. Their basic instinct is to tear each other apart over petty little things like jealousy, success. Their crab mentality just won't release, and then they start to mask it by celebrating these little holidays. These little holidays that make them think that they are a better person. Well, they're not. They're I am sorry. I got a bit. I have gone and gotten a bit ahead of myself. What do you call a cow on the floor? Ground beef. Oh, the puns, they will not go away. Perhaps I should, make up a Christmas pun. Is there any puns I can make about Christmas? This is a pretty difficult, thing. Christmas puns. Help me think about something, darling. Christmas puns. Maybe I should just search it up on the interwebs. Why did the elf hoard all the Christmas presents? Because he was elfish. I think that's a play on the. I think that's a play on the word selfish. Yeah. What's the forecast for Christmas Eve? Reindeer. I'm calling you dear, but that's a play on the word reindeer. Why am I explaining the joke? That ruins the joke. Anyway, if you get the joke, you get the joke. If you don't get the pun, you don't get the pun, alright? What was Santa's favorite subject in school? Chemistry. Why did the elf win the argument about his ears? He had some good points. I don't get that. Oh, I think it's about his ears. What did Santa and Mrs. Claus name their daughter? Merry Christmas. Merry with an A and one R. Oh. What do you call Santa when he accidentally falls in a fireplace? Crisp Kringle. The thought of Santa Claus is burning alive. You think that'd be like roasted pork? I could turn Santa Claus into pork chop. Ah, that is a great idea. My dear, you have caught my heart. And I want to do all sorts of naughty things with you. So let's put ourselves in the naughty list. And then once we draw Santa out, we'll cook him alive and turn him into a pork chop. Ha 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 ha. So let's get naughty. Why, hello there, darling. It's time for another dad joke session. Yeah, boy. Yes, why, yes. I have gone and looked up the amazing, quite amazing world of dad jokes. Why, they are delightful! And let me go check it out right now. Let me read this opening paragraph. We've all heard them. They've been received. Them with groans, eye rolls, and begrudging laughs. The dad jokes are both beloved and despised like corny puns. They're funny because they're not funny. But what makes a dad joke different from a regular pun? The signature of a dad joke is that it's utterly uncool. Grandma baby, the queen of nonsensical sayings, but dad is certainly the king of cheesy jokes. But dad jokes aren't just for dads. There's no better way to diffuse tension or create a comfortable, playful environment than with a corny joke. And these ironic and hilarious one-liners are great icebreakers for all ages. Not only are these jokes sure to lighten up a crowd, but they're actually funny and guaranteed to earn some chuckles. Beat dad at his own game at Thanksgiving table, and then you are armed with these clever dad jokes. Add these clever one-liners and puns to your repertoire, and you'll be on your way to matching dad's pun king status in no time. To whoever stole my copy of Microsoft Office, I will find you. You will have my word. Get it? Get it? Because, Microsoft Word. What's Forrest Gump's Facebook password? 1 Get it? Because the code in the movie is run, Forrest, run. What time did the man go to the dentist? Tooth hurty. Get it? Tooth hurty. 2:30. Tooth hurty. I'm sure you got it. Why didn't the melon get married? Because they cantaloupe. Get it? Cantaloupe. They can't elope. Why didn't the... Oh,
Why did the coach go to the bank to get his quarterback? Football jokes. American football jokes. I'm not from America, quite say. So I don't understand, American football, but quite a charming joke. Why did the fisherman say to the magician, pick a card, any card? I get it. Codfish, but it's like a card. I get it. Which is faster, hot or cold? Hot, because you can catch a cold. Yeah. Did you know that milk is the fastest liquid on Earth? Did you know that milk is the fastest liquid on Earth? It's pasteurized before you even see it. What did one ocean say to the other ocean? Nothing, they just wave. Get it? Cause they're a wave. Did you hear about the power outlet who got into a fight with a power cord? He thought he could sock it to him. Why can't a leopard hide? Because he's always spotted. How many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh? 10 tickles. I made a pencil with 2 erasers. It was pointless. What do you get from a pampered cow? Spoiled milk. Where do baby cats learn to swim? The kiddie pool. How can a leopard change his spots? By moving. Time to look for more puns, I say. We are in search of puns. More puns to search from. What do sprinters eat before a race? Nothing. They fast. I get it. Fasting is not eating. I get it. Ha ha ha. What concert costs just 45 cents? 50 cent featuring Nickelback. I'd probably fall asleep at that concert, to be honest. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. I think I'm going blind. I need my monocle. I can't see properly. What do you call mac and cheese that gets all up in your face? Too close for comfort food. Why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself? It was too tired. Ha ha ha. Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, no atmosphere. I already did this last time. What do you call a fish with 2 knees? A 2-knee fish. Why do melons have weddings? Because they... I already did this. What happens when you go to the bathroom in France? European. What's the difference between a poorly dressed man on a tricycle and a well-dressed man on a bicycle? A tire. How many apples grow on the tree? All of them. Did you hear the rumor about butter? Well, I'm not going to spread it. Did you hear about the guy who invented lifesavers? They say he made a mint. Why do you never see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're so good at it. How does a penguin build its house? He glues it together. Igloo. Why did the old man fall in the well? Because he couldn't see that well. Why don't skeletons ever go trick-or-treating? Because they have no body to go with. What do you call a factory that sells passable products? A satisfactory. Why did Invisible Man turn down the job offer? He couldn't see himself doing it. Want to hear a joke about construction? I am still working on it. I like telling dad jokes. Sometimes he laughs. Whoever stole my copy, Microsoft Office, I will... Oh, I already did this pun!
There must be something else here. My boss told me to have a good day, so I went home. I don't think that's a pun, but it's a cool joke. I used to work in a shoe recycling shop. It's so destroyed. Oh, I get it. It was so destroying. Spring is here, I got it. So excited, I wet my plants. Plants, not pants. This graveyard looks overcrowded. People must be dying to get in here. My friend says to me, what rhymes with orange? And I told him, no it doesn't. My wife told me I had to stop acting like a flamingo, so I had to put my foot down. I told my girlfriend she drew her eyebrows too high. She seems surprised. Well, I don't have a girlfriend. Unless if it's you. I tell dad jokes, but I have no kids. I'm a faux pas. As they say. I would avoid the sushi if I was you. It's a little fishy. 5 out of 4 people admit they're bad with fractions. Okay, I hate math. I don't get that. I'll call you later. Don't call me later. Call me dad. That was funny. That was funny. I'll call you later. Don't call me later. Call me dad. Well, that's all the dad jokes I have. I'll be seeing you later. Maybe next time we can go out on a date. Well, see you later. Remember to call me Radio Daddy anytime. Hello there. You've been the subject of my eye as of lately. To be honest, you've caught my attention. Though I suppose that's a big deal to you now, seeing as I am the infamous Radio Demon. Though you can call me Radio Daddy. And what can you do, my fellow? Though it's quite preposterous that you and someone like me could be together. Or maybe not. That's my sort of entertainment. Just hang around with whatever comes my way. Though you should have seen that amazing sort of project in the picture show. Did you notice it? You haven't noticed the hotel that's being shown in the pictures? That's quite a shame. It's quite a shame. Because I'd be delighted if you could just come on by and just swing by to that hotel, because I'm shaping that place quite off. Ooh. That place looked quite, how should I say this? It was shit. Oh, you should have seen it. There was garbage everywhere. No staff, no nothing, everywhere. Though you should have seen how it looks now. Quite clean after, well, not mine, but a lady's touch. Which is quite weird considering the people there before I came by were all ladies. So, I've cleaned the place up. I got someone to clean the place up. So you should have seen how it looks now. Jolly good, jolly good, jolly good. You'll come to the place? Now that's entertaining. Now, what does demon have to do to get some grub? Would you like to get some food with me? It would be quite delightful to have you along. Unless you're the carnivorous type, I wouldn't consider eating someone else. I don't have the fetish for vor, if I do say so myself. So, maybe I could just make an adjustment. Since I'm asking you to eat with me, maybe you have an idea what you want to eat. Perhaps. Hmm. 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 Hmm? Delightful. Now, I guess I'm paying for everything then. If that doesn't trouble you, would you like to do something else afterwards? You should visit the hotel. It's going to be quite entertaining to see all those poor souls trying to rehabilitate themselves, trying to be better, only for their inevitable fate to catch up upon them and just drag them down to where they belong. I am still helping out, of course. It's primarily for entertainment. I just want to see what happens when, I guess I already said it. The demon tries to be a better being, and then they just relapse into what they truly are. You wouldn't have tried to become a better demon. That is absolutely preposterous. You are perfect just the way you are. There is no need to be a better or worse. Well, you could always be worse. You could always be worse. There is no need to be someone better. We're demons, for Pete's sake! We are the worst of the worst, the lowest of the low. And of course, under my protection, there's no need to be worried about the cleansing. You will be safe under my arms. Under my love. Under my loving protection. Though if that bothers you, I could just, leave you be here. Of course, you want to be with Alastor, the radio demon. Oh, for you, it's the radio daddy. Do not fear, for I am here. I guess that's what a different show would, refer to it. Why, you should see the rest of the gang. There's Charlie, there's Vaggie, there's whatever Angel Dust is, and then there's my sweet companions and minions. You should really come by. I've said that a bunch of times already, but I mean it. Radio Daddy wants you to come visit. And then maybe we could have our own sort of fun at the hotel. Though if it bothers you too much, then I wouldn't press on. But, it's still pretty fun to just hang around with someone like me. Why, we can go through all sorts of fun. There's murder, and maybe a bit more of murder. I am quite beat. Would you like to eat something? Maybe I can eat you. I'm kidding, I'm not into vor. But if you want to, perhaps. I'll have you know that Radio Daddy is the king of dad jokes. So if you need anything to be turned into a ridiculous joke, just, call me. By the way, did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? It was all food and no atmosphere, get it? Because the restaurant was on the moon. I. Oh, how about this one? Hold on. The Wi-Fi is terrible. How do you make holy water? You boil the hell out of it. Huzzah! What an amazing dad jokester Radio Daddy is. Perhaps next time you will avail me for your next show. If you're doing a show, maybe you can invite me for a gig. Though, you can invite me for other things as well. I'm sure Radio Daddy can do anything that you want. So don't hesitate to ask for my services. Well, that is all. Ta-ta. See you next time. Perhaps. Oh, we're supposed to get food. Come on. Don't be shy. Let's go and eat some grub.